at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
profession!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to YouTube Talk. It's good to see everybody. Good morning. Hopefully you guys are having a better week than last week. Holy crap. It's been a week today. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Gum Bunny, give me just 1 second. I want to pull this back up here. Gum Bunny pops in. Don't know if you heard, but rest in peace, Robert Redford. I did. And there's a bunch of movies I could go over about what a wonderful The Last Castle. Sneakers is one of my favorite spy movies of all time. It's absolutely great. The Natural is one of the best baseball movies you could ever watch. Holy crap, man. Gone too soon. I know he was in his 80s, but holy crap, man. Rest in peace, Robert Redford. Yeah, Keeley, absolutely. He pretty much created the Sundance Film Festival. I can't think of a negative thing to say about the guy. He knew he was 89. He knew that he had something going. Some people will say he was up his own ass. I don't care. He earned it. So, rest in peace this morning, Robert Redford. What a great actor. So, and you know what? I'm that's I'm just it's a sad day that he's gone. He did great work. He's a great actor. I watched a lot of those movies growing up. Like I said, I love Sneakers. I absolutely love Sneakers back in the day. Absolutely great movie. So a week ago, I talked about a tipping point. It's funny. I should have called it a turning point. A tipping point in the way things are. You could feel it. You could feel it in the air. You could feel the way things were going. Things were tipping. People getting tired of the status quo bullcrap that has gone on. People were tired of the people getting hurt, crime, people getting murdered on transits, people getting murdered on subways. People people are sick of it, and people were starting to wake up to the fact that if you do nothing about a problem, the problem just gets worse. Now the people can say, "Oh well, we're doing something about it. We're doing something here. We're doing something there," but they weren't really doing anything. They were just letting the problem get worse. A $2 super sticker from Mahogany Jaws. What's up? And it's a Shiba Inu. And he's shaking his butt and he's parting hearts on this Wednesday, on this hump day. Getting a little Shibi. Parting hearts. Thank you so much, Mac. We've also got another super chat from Jedi Master Lost in Space. If you haven't checked out his channel, check out his channel. Good morning, Loki. Skull, brother. Skull. Skull to you. Jedi Master. Skull to you. Marketing Draw. Skull to Gun Bunny for throwing out the membership chat. Thank you guys so very much. You guys absolutely rock. You guys absolutely freaking rock. Thank you. And this one, what are we going to do? We don't have a camel. We need a camel. We need something hump day. Hump day like. But the best I can do is throw out some monster breath for you this morning. Go! I guess I should update that one. About time I update. About time I update. Thank you for all the camels in the chat. I see y'all. I see y'all. Penny's throwing out camels. Thank you, Penny. Jill Powers is throwing out camels. We got camels. We got camels coming in everywhere. Yeah, I love me some Godzilla too. I do. I love me some Godzilla too. You could feel everything starting to shift. And then Wednesday, I come on here, I talk about The fact that I really believe this is happening, things are changing, and now I don't think it's going to be a tipping point or pendulum. I think it's going to be a tidal wave. There's a lot of people right now that are throwing a fit about freedom of speech. And I want to bring this up specifically because I know we've got Darth Arlena over on the Rumble hanging out. I see Arlena. She says, "Good morning, Valhalla." And we've got Arwen Avalon in the chat hanging out. These two ladies got dinged during the coup for talking about the coup. They got shut down. Their stream got hit. They got shut down because they were talking about the coup. I know a lot of people that got deplatformed, that got demonetized for talking about the coup. Now, we live in a society, thankfully, that has freedom of speech. But one of the things I've heard over and over and over again is that we may have freedom of speech, but we don't have freedom from consequence of that speech. Mark says, what I've seen last week from both sides of the fence is one side is truly evil and the other side are opportunistic vultures to promote themselves. Humanity sucks. No, I don't think so. Humanity can suck. And there are people that are going to take advantage. There are people that are going to seize opportunity. There are people that are going to go after others for things they say. You cannot lose your values because of shit like this. Oh, look, we have a troll in chat. Well, bye-bye, troll. Bye. Bye-bye. I don't like people using shit like that in here. So if you want to come in here and you want to talk, by all means, come in here and talk. You start throwing around stuff like that, and that's that. I won't deal with it. Bye-bye. Goodbye. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. You have the opportunity to say, you know what? I'm not gonna put up with this shit. You have the opportunity to say, you know what? You have your opinion and I have mine. You have the opportunity to debate. You have the opportunity to Destiny didn't get kicked off Twitch. Destiny got kicked off Twitch in 2022. He is playing people. He is talking trash and playing people and using this to try and get some kind of sympathy thing from the left so that he gets more people to watch his shit. It's all about lies. It's all about sympathy. It's all about poor me, the victim. Destiny's a big fat liar. He got booted in 2022 off Twitch. So he's trying to bring something back and be like, oh no, I got canceled for something I said, when he didn't get shit. He got canceled back in 2022. I understand that it's been a thing, and I understand you probably saw people that you know. I know I saw at least a half a dozen people that I know that I've streamed with, that I've talked to, that immediately jumped on that and were like, holy crap. He got deplatformed for the stuff he said about Charlie. No, he didn't. He got deplatformed back in 2022. These two ladies, Arwen and Arlena, they got deplatformed for talking about the coup, for talking about the jab. They were with Adega. I know what happened before when Adega wasn't there, but they had a stream with Adega and they got deplatformed for talking about the coup. I know multiple people that went through that got deplatformed, that got demonetized. It was not your fault. You shouldn't be deplatformed for talking about it in the first place. But this was all celebrated by one side. One side was saying you can't talk about this. One side was saying you shall not talk about this. You shouldn't talk about this. You're not an expert. Blah 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 blah. They also said there are consequences for the things you talk about. Those same people now are going to try and convince you that they are a victim, that they should have victimhood because things they said and put out into the universe are now coming back on them. Over 1,000 people have been fired. Over 250 teachers in the United States have been fired. A teacher just down the road from me was fired because they celebrated the death of someone that they saw on the internet. They didn't bother doing any research. They didn't bother looking into. Um, they didn't bother looking at. So Loki, I reported on their reporting. I care so little about Destiny. I had no idea he'd already been laid off. Yeah, he got bumped back in 2022. I don't give a shit either. I just saw um I just saw what happened. I was like, I was sure he was banned off Twitch like years ago, and I looked into it, and yeah, he got banned back in 2022. Um, going to need to do another video. Thank you, Culture. Anytime you want to do a video, dude. Anytime, I'm ready. Just give me a call. That was on Texas Tech's main campus in Lubbock. Arrested for assault and battery, resisting arrest. Oh, Lordy. And what's up, Daryl? What is up, brother? Greetings program. So I'm not going to feel bad for somebody that just a couple of years ago was like, there are consequences for the shit you say online. And now they're losing their jobs. We've been through this already. We went through this journey during the coup. You couldn't say anything about the coup. You couldn't say anything about Ukraine. You couldn't even say COVID-19. If you said COVID-19, your entire show was shut down. Everything was shut down. And YouTube just yanked it because of disinformation. Because Google is up the ass of all of these people. Google does what these people tell them to do. So if they say you need to shut it down, you need to shut down any conversation of this, no more talking about this, they will do that. No one was celebrating anybody dying. No one was celebrating anybody getting shot in the neck. No one was celebrating anything. We were pissed. We were pissed that we couldn't even discuss this. We couldn't even talk about this. We couldn't even hold a forum because we were told, that's not allowed. People were saying freedom of speech, freedom of this, freedom of that. No, you don't have freedom to be monetized or to be on YouTube and talk about the things that we don't want you talking about, right? So how is this different now with all of this? In fact, I mean, they're celebrating someone dying. You're celebrating someone getting shot. How many of you have ever celebrated someone getting murdered? Anybody? Anybody? Has anybody here posted a video gleefully celebrating someone dying? Has anybody ever done that? I can't think of anybody I know that would do that. Maybe one person. And that's what's really sad. Is that I do know somebody. I do know somebody who celebrated. Night of the Living Sausages. They're coming to get you, Owen. Those nice young men in their pretty white coats, they're coming to take you away. Ha ha. Exactly. Exactly. There's a difference between murder and combat. This wasn't combat. This was a discussion between two people that someone decided, I don't want you to have. I don't like that you get to exercise your freedom of speech. So I'm going to forcefully take it away from you. Can't do that in the courts. So we'll reach out and touch someone. When Joe Biden was diagnosed with cancer, most people on the right gave their best wishes. That's right. No one celebrated, or they kept that shit to themselves. Simple as that. It used to be, and I know I was raised in this, but I was like, "Psh, no one cares about that. If you don't have something else to say, don't say anything at all. Right? I got told that growing up constantly. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Didn't really work out that way, did it? It never does. It never does. My grandmother used to tell me that. Well, you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Keely Chow, truckers did nothing wrong. Truckers didn't do anything wrong and they got shut down. Our brethren up in the north that didn't want to put up with the shit they were putting up with, that went out and did it peacefully. They weren't even starting any shit. They just said, no, we're not going to do that. Painted up as the enemy, paraded in front of the news, said they were violent extremists. I didn't see them gunning anybody down at debates on a college campus. You know what's funny? We get this thing about, things that happen at schools all the time. How dare you? This and this happened at a school yesterday. This and this, we're the ones protecting the schools. And they're the ones cheering all this on. Kind of ironic, isn't it? That you all are the ones cheering this on and celebrating it and saying it's just a great and wonderful thing and something should have happened a long time ago when you're talking about something happening at a school. See, a school is where people go to learn. It's not where people go to be indoctrinated, even though that happens. And yes, that was happening 20 freaking years ago. I talked about that last week on this show. They were indoctrinating people 20 something years ago. The amount of crap you had to go through to get through college to get your degree, and the amount of brainwashing. When you have a class called environmental science, and the entire point of that class is how do you reduce the population of the earth to 1/3 of what it is? Guess what? Most people picked a virus, and that's like your final. That's what the whole class is leading up to. See, you'd have your book, and in your book, you'd have things like how do beavers build a dam? How does this environment differ from this one? What happens when you take a species that is not native to that environment and introduce it? But then you had all the crazy libtard leftist shit that got added in that's not in the book that you had to talk about, to the point where even in the final, you're looking at how do you decrease the population of the planet by 2/3, because that's the only way we can care for the planet. That is what they are teaching you, and that is what it was being taught 20 plus years ago. Also, I haven't seen any riots, burnings, or cities taken over after Charlie's murder. Only seen a world of light with prayer, vigil, and support. Go figure. Funny how it works that way, isn't it? Right now, if they weren't as chill and as calm as they are about all of this, and in mourning, I wouldn't want to be the other side right now. I really wouldn't. You can come over there and you can start shit and you can go to the vigils and you can scream and you can talk in your megaphone. Hey, you deserve that. Nah, 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 nah. Um, don't poke the bear. I'm just saying, don't, because you're not gonna like what happens. It won't be nice. Right now, you have gotten Let us mourn. Leave us alone and let us mourn. Let us mourn our fallen comrade. Let us mourn our hero. Let us mourn our inspiration. Let us mourn the guy who all he wanted to do was talk and debate and hear your argument and go back and forth. What's so dangerous about that? Well, what was dangerous about that is he was opening people's eyes to the fact that you have opted in to hate. You can talk about, oh, he was the this or he was the that. No, he's not. You don't meet with someone and be like, no, you're beautiful, this and that, da, 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 and then turn around and say, oh, he was a hateful, blah, 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 who did this and that. No, no. You see, he was the nicest of us. He was the nicest of us. He was your best option. He was the one that would actually talk to you, discuss things with you. A lot of people, they're not going to do that. How is a Loki? Is Loki ranting again? Loki's doing better than he was last week. There was a lot of shocking shit that happened last week. But back to my point. I watched people I know get demonetized and get deplatformed. One of the first things I learned when I got here is you do not mess with people's earnings. You do not mess with their income. Why? Because this was a tactic that the left used over and over and over again to get rid of people. We will get you fired. We will get you removed. We will make sure you lose everything. This was their way that they did cancel culture. This is their baby. We're not just going to hit back. We're going to make sure that you can't pay your bills. You can't have a job. You can't eat. We're going to ruin your life. That's what we are going to do. That is how we are going to get rid of you. We're going to ruin your life. Even if we lie, even if we cheat, even if we make shit up, it's better because you're gone and we're still here. And they celebrated that over and over and over again. They got rid of people. They spread rumors about people. Their own friends wouldn't defend them because, oh my God, I don't want to be canceled next. This was Hollywood in a nutshell. I don't want to be next. So I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to agree with everything they're telling me to agree with. I'm going to make videos about getting jabbed and how I just got my 18th booster. I'm going to do all this stuff because I don't want to be next on the cancel train. They knew we eat our own here. And the last thing I want to do is get put in the timeout box and told I'm next. I don't want to lose everything. This was their playbook because they knew we'll just destroy your life. We'll put it out there. We've got the news, we've got PR, we've got Hollywood. We can now destroy you with a headline. And you'll never work anywhere again, and you'll never make any money, and every door will be closed to you. This has been their playbook for years. Something I have talked about over and over and over again. Something you may have heard on this show is you will be culled from the herd and left in the wilderness to die alone. Bye, bye, bye. And that is exactly what the name of the game is. The thing is he opened eyes. That's right. He made people think. That's true. When you do that, taking turns into ideas turn into friendship, and equal ground can be achieved. That's what most fear. Now, you can talk about cancel culture. You can talk about all that all you want to. But here's the deal. Things you do and things you say do have consequences. If you were to come in here and run your mouth and talk shit, I might just bonk you like I just did that person coming in here using the language they were using. You know what? I'm a pretty chill guy. I don't care if there's F-bombs going on. Pretty much, you guys say what you want to say. When you come in here throwing crap like that out, the hard R, shit like that, I just don't have time for you. Okay, you immediately have shown me your incompetence and your dumbassery by coming in here and throwing shit like that out. There's no rhyme or reason for it. They were afraid. They were afraid. And they got rid of somebody because they were afraid of what he might say and how things might change. It's no longer a tipping point or a pendulum or a turning point. It is a tidal wave of people saying no. Enough. We're sick of this. We are tired of this. We are tired of the BS. Because that's what it is. Good morning, Jester. Good morning, Jester, and good morning, Arlena. Hey, good morning, Snacks. Holy shit. Did Snacks come in here? Did I miss him? Snacks, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. You did a great stream last night. You guys were doing great last night. You and Jedi Master did a great job last night. Great work, guys. It's your decision what you want to do. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, you need to do this or you need to do that. Or seriously, my mic keeps fading in and out. It's had issues lately. It was like really hot the other day and I didn't do anything. So maybe I moved it. Maybe I fiddled with something. I don't know. I'll have to go in and check because I don't have anybody here to mess with it while I'm doing this. So there are consequences for the things you say. And there are consequences for the things you put out in the world. If you put out a video saying, oh, I celebrate this, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. There is no backtracking from that. I need to apologize and come out. Oh, well, that's good. I still don't want to talk to you. I still don't want to have anything to do with you. No one celebrated it when it happened to y'all. No one celebrated, like Snowdove said, Biden having cancer. No one celebrated and jumped up and down and had a party. Hey, let's have a party on Discord. And I've been warning people about Discord for a long time. They don't want to listen to me. Stay off of Discord. But Loki, don't you have like a group thing set up there? I do, from like 5 years ago. That I almost never check anymore because I just don't go on there. There's a lot of freaky shit that happens on Discord. And a lot of things people will put up, and I'm just like, nope. Stephen King spread lies about Kirk, flat out didn't accept his apology. He did, didn't he? Isn't that something? He came out and he said he was sorry. And I said, too late, dude. He was a pivotal part of books for me. And you know what I did the other day? I put down a Stephen King book and didn't buy it. I had a chance to get a first edition of one of the Gunslinger books, but I already have it. And I was like, you know what? I love collecting first editions, but I'm just not going to do it. I got some old hardcover Star Trek books instead, a whole bunch of them. I'm just not. I just won't. I just won't. Stephen King can go do whatever Stephen King does, and he can say whatever he wants, but they're like hyenas. They're like hyenas. It's like wild animals trying to go after a corpse, and or vultures. Just call it a vulture. I don't have time for vultures. I don't have time for any of that. Jester of Sin over on Rumble. I'm glad I saw that because I caught it. Personally, I like to see people celebrating evil. Lets me know exactly who they are. And once I know, there is no coming back from there. I wish we lived in a world where none of that happened. Um, I wish we lived in a world where we can all come together and say this should not have happened. We live in a country that's first fundamental right is freedom of speech. And you took that away from someone because you didn't like what they had to say. You didn't just make a law, you didn't just violate the law. You took it upon yourself to decide for everyone else that no one should hear this person speak, not his wife, not his kids, not his family, not his friends. I'll make sure he never says anything ever again. That's the world we live in. We're in a country where your first fundamental right is I have the freedom to speak. I have artistic freedom. I have freedom of expression. You went and forcefully took that away from somebody because you didn't like what they had to say. Um, so where does that leave us? Well, I'll tell you where that leaves me. I can't speak for all of you, but I can tell you where that leaves me. I no longer, I will not defend um, artistic freedom in games, movies, whatever. I used to be very big on let let the person create what they want. Let the and let people decide whether they like it or not. Artistic freedom is all about freedom of expression, freedom of ideas, freedom of thought, freedom of speech. I want to make something and I should have the ability to make it. Now, if you want to put a NC-17 or a MA sticker on it or whatever, do whatever you want to do. You can rate it whatever you want to rate it. That doesn't stop giving this person the ability to create what they want to create. And what's really funny is the individuals that are in the gaming industry that are throwing a fit about this, that are making waves, that are saying, "How dare you take my freedom of speech away from me for celebrating someone's murder that happened in a video." I mean, shit. It wasn't just we heard about it; we all saw it from 20 different angles and the zoomed in version. God help me. Hey, here's a close up version of what happened. God, no one wants to. No, it was everywhere, and you celebrated that. And now you're gonna come to me and be like, "How dare you take away my?" Well, he can't talk anymore. He can't hug his kid. He can't make love to his wife. He can't make more little babies. He won't see his kid's next birthday, either one of them. And you're worried that you got fired because you celebrated his murder on TikTok? I saw someone that was like, "Oh my God, I got fired. I'm a teacher. I celebrated this." They had like $20 in their GoFundMe. Who the hell threw their $20? And the $20 was privated too. They didn't want anybody to see that shit. They didn't want anybody to see that they had supported this numbskull for doing what they did. Loki, you should be worried they're firing teachers. I'm not worried about that. This shit's been going on for a long time. Oh, over 30 years ago, when I walked into my seventh grade history class and they had a picture of um, Christopher Columbus and it said all the evil shit wanted for all this shit, I was like, what in the hell is wrong with you? Well, we're going to teach you that Christopher Columbus was an evil, evil person that poisoned people and pillaging and grape and all this shit. And I was like, I went to my dad and I said, what the hell is this? What in the hell is this? What in the hell is going on? A little more than 30 years, probably like 35 now, close to it anyway. I'll be 46 in October next month. So, and he just said that they can't celebrate anything. They have to tear everything down and replace it with their own shit. I was like, wow. And look what they did. Look at all the statues. Look at all the remembrance. Look at all the history gone because they threw a fit. We're not going to New York and tearing down the giant statue of that one chick with the shopping cart and EBT on the front of it. We're not going and pushing down those. Have you seen any violence after this? Have you seen anyone going out and causing any violence, burning down cities, trashing anything? No, you haven't. And more people are waking up to the idea that, you know what? My side's celebrating murder. My side's celebrating chaos. My side's celebrating people losing their homes, losing their shops, losing their everything they have. These guys aren't. But Loki, didn't you just say you don't have two shits to give if some I don't, but I'm not celebrating it. I'm saying we've been through this already. We went through this during the coup. We dealt with this already. We've been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt. How many people got demonetized? How many people lost their channels? How many people lost their jobs during the coup? How many military personnel lost their jobs and were thrown out? No benefits, no nothing. How many people lost their jobs because they wouldn't get a jab? And you're saying that we should feel bad for you because you celebrated someone being shot in the neck and now you've lost your job. So sorry, hasta lasagna. Don't get any on you. I have no shits to give. You see, I'd have been the first person to be like, hey, don't mess with people's First Amendment. Don't mess with freedom of speech. Do not mess with artistic expression. I don't freaking care anymore. I don't care. I lost a job on an Air Force base because of the coup. How many people lost their jobs? How many people do you know lost their jobs? How many do you know? How many people have you not heard from since all that? That's right. I've got nothing but shit to give. Carlos Fish. Carlos Fish. Nothing but shit to give. So you know what you've got now? You've got people that are waking up to the fact that you screwed up. You're celebrating all this. People are becoming disgusted. People saying they're never going to go back to that side. People saying they'll never vote that way again. People awakening to the idea that maybe I've been on the wrong side of this. You've got actors that either are doubling down, looking at YouTubics, doubling down and trying to make a name for themselves because they think if I keep doing what I've been doing, I'll get noticed and they'll give me jobs. And you've got people that are going, this is disgusting, and I can't believe our side is doing this, and I can't believe this is happening, and da 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 da. Wake up to the fact that you guys have groomed a base that blames the other side for everything that's wrong in the world, and has told them to go out, get in people's faces, pick up a weapon, and do something about it. That's y'all's words. It's not my words. It's your words. Get in people's faces, pick up a weapon, do something about it. Make sure they know they're not welcome. Can we start over? I don't know. We're like 45 minutes in now. So, what's up, punk? Good to see you, my little penguin brother. What about the ones still promoting the jab? Why haven't we opened up that can of worms? They are. Look at that one chick It's like, I'm getting my 24th booster shot. I don't care. I got asked. Here's the deal. I got asked the other day. I went and had to pick up medication, and medication is expensive. It sucks. It really does. I take medication for my blood sugar. I take medication for my blood pressure. I take medication. It's for my cholesterol. I fight the good fight and I do what I have to do. But that shit's expensive. We've got our new flu and booster shot in for the coof. Would you like? No. Okay, no problem. And that was it. I don't get flu shots. I don't get flu shots every year. Why the hell would I get a coof shot every year? Oh, but Loki, you're like you're the you're right in there in that, like, holy shit, something bad could happen to you. I've gotten the flu every year. People who get the flu shot, they get the flu. They just get a toned down version of it, so they don't get it again. The coof, you get it anyway. What the hell good is getting a shot when you get it anyway? Well, it stops the spread. No, it doesn't. You lying bitches. And you can say that now, whereas you couldn't say that a couple years ago. No jabby jab. That's right. No jabby jab. I'm not getting the jabby jab. It's just not happening. It's not my thing. I don't have to get a damn flu shot. I don't have to get a coop shot. I don't have to do any of that. And we're back to the reality of that. See, this is what happens when the government gets involved and says you have to do something. Everything goes tits up. And you either lose everything or do what they tell you to do. I know at least a half a dozen people that messaged me and said, I'm going to have to do this. What do you suggest? If you got to do it, do it. If you don't have any other choice, if you can't get another job, if you're up to your neck in debt and there's no other choice, do what you got to do. I'm not going to judge you for doing it to keep your job. A couple of people talked to their doctor, and their doctor was like, trash can, no problem. Glad you got it. They didn't even give it to them. They just came in, took it out, wrapped it in a napkin, threw it in the bin. Nothing. Nada. Good for you. Thank you, doctor, for alternative medicine. They're still suggesting you get it. Okay, you can make suggestions all you want to. I worked the front lines during the COVID and never got it. Right there. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Should be your choice. And if you want to go on TikTok or YouTube or Twitch or whatever and celebrate some woman losing her husband, some kids losing their father, some guy losing his life, that is your choice. And you have to deal with the consequences of your choices. It's that simple. You have to deal with the consequences of your choices. Mountains of Elysium, good morning. Good to see you. Nice to see you again. No nanoprobes in this body. I couldn't agree more, Mark. So what do you do? What do you do? If someone comes in your chat, or someone wants to start shit, or someone da or blah, 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 blah. I don't have any shits left to give. There will always be people that want to start shit. They can be in your camp. They can be in another camp. They could be in your enemy's camp. They could be in whatever. There's always going to be people that want to start shit and run their mouths. There's always going to be people that have to poke the bear. That is their choice. Let them deal with the consequences of their actions. I don't give two shits if you're upset that you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. If you come in here and you throw around the words that were being thrown around earlier, bye-bye, goodbye, So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. I don't deal with it. I don't. I used to give people an opportunity. I used to give people an opportunity to come in here and they could say whatever they wanted to say. I'd be like, talk to me? Why are you doing that? I don't care anymore. I've dealt with too much bullshit over people trying to make a scene because that's all it's about is I want to make a scene. It's not about I want to have a discussion. I think we figured that part out last Wednesday. It's not about I want to have a discussion. It's not about I want to prove my point. It's not about I want to talk about this. It's not about you sit here, I sit here, and we'll go back and forth about it. It's about I want to make a scene. I want to throw a fit. I am the most important thing in the world. See me, hear me, look at me, la 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 la. I don't care what someone said to you. I don't. I don't really give a shit. If you have a problem, deal with it with that person. Don't come in here and run your mouth and talk shit and expect me to go, oh, well, everything's okay. Situation normal. I knew it was produced too fast when the jab came out. I didn't trust it. I wanted to see what after effects were before I decided. Well, you know the rest. We all do. We all do. And you know what? The Karens of the world are the Karen. That's what they do. You can tell by the way they're up their own fat asses, the haircuts they have, the attitude they have, and the I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. I just put out a video that celebrated someone getting popped. I just put it in chat that I don't like this person and then I want to start shit. I just did this. It's not my fault. Any and every excuse to remove yourself as part of the problem. Any and every excuse to remove yourself as part of the problem. To not accept responsibility for the shit you do in public. I don't have any time for that. I don't. I don't have any time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I used to think that helping people was the best thing you could do. Helping people was the best thing you can do. I got the 2-part COVID vaccine at the end of 2020, and I'd do it again. If you don't want it, don't get it. I have no problem with that. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't, you shouldn't have to. See, that's the thing, Six. If you don't want it, you shouldn't have to get it. But we all know that's not the way it worked. People lost their jobs. People lost their financial freedom. People lost a lot of shit because they were told either take it or you're not a part of society. There were individuals that put out that, hey, if you don't get it, you should be left on the side of the hospital to expire. You should not be allowed in. It's a civilized society that we are supposed to live in. And that's all. If you don't want to take it, you shouldn't have to take it. If you wanted it, by all means, go and get it. Like I said, they offered it to me when I went to pick up my medication, which was yesterday morning. And I said no, and they said okay. They didn't try and convince me. They didn't keep pestering me about it. They just said, okay, no problem. They said, we just got our flu shot and our COVID vax. Do you need one? And I said, no. And they said, okay. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. If you have questions about something, it shouldn't be, well, this is mandatory. You have to do this. But we were told there are consequences for what you say. And Guess what? That's what's happening now. There are consequences, repercussions for the shit you do and the shit you say. I don't give two shits. Why? Because we had to all go through this. We had to all go through this for 4 years. You can't say this, can't say that, get kicked off of this, get kicked off of that, lose your job. Why did I bring up getting demonetized in the first place? Because when I first got here, the last thing you would do to somebody else is go after their monetization. That became a game for a long time for some people. They would go after other people's monetization. There are some individuals that gleefully did this, that said, "Oh no, it's not me, man," and later found out, yeah, it was, because they had to they had to prove it by pulling up their report list and showing people, um, and they'd done it to their supposed friends, their supposed allies, because they didn't like what they had to say. You know what the most egregious error in this line of work is? Disagreeing with somebody. I don't agree with you. I think you're wrong. And now that person fucking hates you and wants you gone because you didn't agree with them. Have you ever been watching a stream where someone threw a fit and left because they didn't like what other people had to say? They threw their arms up, they threw their hands out, and they just left. There are two kinds of leaves. There's two kinds of leaving when you're that pissed. The first one is, I can't believe you just fucking said that. Something very insulting, something very degrading, something where you take your frustration and your anger out on your guests that you have with the panel, and they're like, "Fuck you," and they leave. The other one is, "You didn't agree with me. How dare you? You all suck and don't know what you're talking about," and then they leave. Those are your two. Those are your two, slam the doors and leave. Some people do it for even less than fucking that. Some people, it's just a childish game. Those people I can't work with. I can't talk to. I can't have a discussion with people that are going to throw fits and act like fucking namsy pamsy babies. You know what? This guy right here, we don't always agree on everything, but we can talk. We can talk about something. We're not trying to fucking cancel each other. We're not trying to get rid of each other. We're not trying to one up each other or fucking report each other, any stupid shit like that. I can have a discussion with him. Even though I don't agree with what he says, I can still talk to him about it. Six says, I've spurged out a dozen times on streams and I hate that about myself. Live and learn. The live and the learn. Um, I've never left a stream. I've just dealt with it. And there's been times where I've been yelling back and forth at somebody because of the absolute stupidity in what they were saying. I've definitely gone off the chain before, but I won't leave. I won't. How dare you? Screeches and pointing and calling for the manager. Yeah, I'm just not. Um, there's a lot of back and forth with people. There's always going to be. Um, the people that know me know I like to bust balls. I really do. How dare you? I like to bust balls. I like to bust people's balls. That's the thing. If you hang around me, you know that's going to happen. If you are one of those people That's like, how dare you? You probably don't want to hang around with me because I do dare. Not much coming off of an excellent 3 Comic-Con weekend. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I think the next meetup I will be at will be the Valhalla one and hanging out with Daryl the Derelict. And the one after that will be Snowed Up. So you reach a certain level of zen when you leave negativity, ignore the idiots that are on this platform. Exactly. Exactly. How dare you? We'll never get old. No, it won't. How dare you? Dare you? How dare you say these things? How dare you do these things? It will never get old. Well, what about that with the shooting thing? You're talking about someone's life. You're talking about the end of someone's life. You're talking about his kids never seen it. I don't know why I have to spell this out. You're talking about some kids. No, you're not the only one. Apparently, there's an issue. It was super hot the other day. I think I have clicked on something that I shouldn't have when I was trying to fix it, and I'm gonna have to do that. So sorry if it's been in and out this morning. It's been one of those mornings. I will definitely get into the shop and see about fixing it. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for not bad. Thank you. It's something that happened on the back. A knob got turned or something. It was super hot when I was on Snow Dubs and I had to mess with it. I think I may have clicked the stereo thing over or something. And that might be it. I don't know, but I'll look into it and see if I can fix it. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you, Gun Bunny, for being a member. Thank you for being here, each and every one of you. That means so much and is the reason why I keep coming back. Holy shit. It's definitely not the money. It's you guys. You guys make this great. You guys make this place great. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for having a great morning with me. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for listening above all. Thank you, guys. Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to inner, and we will see you on the next one. Have a great hump day, and don't let the man get you down.
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.